Hello and welcome to Empower Week Day. I am Tori Rarick and I am your host. Each day this week I will be featuring a new guest who will be sharing a practice or a teaching that you can apply to begin working with the energy of a particular chakra. Chakras are known in Sanskrit as wheels, but they are the major energy centers that are represented within our physical body. So the energy, ethereal body, and our physical body are interdependent. In order to be in optimal health, energy should move freely between chakras, but also should not be overactive. Today is all about the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra is located between and above your brows, so in about the center of your forehead, and it is associated with the color indigo. It's the center of intuition, and so it's associated with psychic power, dreams, and perception. If you're interested in learning about meditation and third eye activation, keep watching to meet our guests Brigitte Mars and Bethy Lovelight, and please stay tuned until the end to hear about how you can receive a free energetic mapping call with me. Enjoy! Hi everyone, today I'm here with Brigitte Mars and Bethy Lovelight will be on screen too. And today we're talking about the third eye chakra and opening up to meditation. So Brigitte, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm a medical herbalist. I've written 14 books on natural health using plants, food, homeopathy, essential oils. I have a private practice and I help people achieve better health using what nature provides.
Of course. I will link everything below. And just to get to know you, Brigitte, do you have a personal mantra or affirmation?
You know, I Om a lot. That's a really easy one, but I have a lot of mantras. But I'd like to say that, life is a prayer and that, always putting intention, and every day I'd say my offering is that I offer my life for the highest good to help make the world a better place. And I just ask that the Creator use me in any way that sees fit. Because, yeah, thank you.
Of course, for the highest good. I love to say that too. So do you have a mantra or an affirmation someone could start to work with if they want to open their third eye and work with meditation?
I like Om, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get started.
Ajna, 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 third eye chakra, visions, indigo, elements beyond, frequencies of light beyond sound. Single-pointed consciousness now. Deep spirit self, it does know how. Self-realization beyond the self. Self-realization beyond the self. Ajna, 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 third eye chakra.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the pineal gland, which is the gland that's most associated with the third eye. And ideally, we want all our chakras to be lit up and functioning, because if one is out of balance, then so are the others. So we have this energy that goes through our body, the Ida and the Pingala, that are said to be associated with the Kundalini, the serpent coil of energy that resides at the base of our spine. And by activating that, we can achieve higher states of consciousness. The third eye, there's many who talk about just meditating and focusing on the third eye as a meditation practice. And that when we meditate, a simple thing is just to see with our inner eye for more insight. Sometimes this chakra is pronounced ajna as well as ajna, and it is associated with the color indigo. You see this depicted in a lot of art and literature. And again, we want to activate all our chakras, and I think color is a really important way that we can do that. So the pineal gland is a gland that we're still learning about, and it is a singular gland that sits in between both hemispheres of the brain. And most parts of the brain, actually all of the parts, have another complement to it on the other side. But the pineal gland is right in the center and is a singular gland. One of the ways that we can activate the pineal gland is by taking in light through our eyes. It's said that light enters the eyes and it goes into our brain, affects the pineal and the pituitary gland, and even helps to activate hormonal production. So again, we want to be all lit up so we can do good things on this planet. The pineal gland has also been associated with the pine cone, and it's interesting. You often see pictures of the Buddha depicted with a pine cone hat. One of the largest pine cone sculptures is in the Vatican. You even see in some of the ancient Babylonian stone tablets. So it's often been associated that the pineal gland is associated with the pine tree. There's a Buddha with one of those pine cone hats. And some animals even have what's called a parietal gland. You can even see their third eye. And we don't know that much about what is that for, but it most likely is a light receptor. So lizards and some amphibians will have this gland where you can actually see that it is a receptor site. And of course, the proverbial unicorn has a pineal gland activated by the powerful horn that we often love to depict. We also associate the Eye of Horus with the pineal gland. And it is interesting that even in modern day pharmacy, the symbol of a prescription really comes from the ancient Eye of Horus. Next time you buy a prescription, you can ponder that. So very often in pictures that we see of Indian deities and saints, we often see their third eye highlighted in some way. Maybe they even wear some sort of marking as a reminder to be in a meditative state. Very often the decoration is done with turmeric or saffron or sandalwood. And a bindi, people might decorate their third eye to draw attention to it. We also see the tilak, which usually denotes more tribal affiliation, but is another way of bringing significance to this chakra. So one thing that's been coming out is that we might actually be calcifying and impeding the function of our third eye chakra by the use of fluoridated water. And fluoridated water is the norm in most places in North America. It's said that drinking fluoridated water calcifies the pineal gland and makes it even less receptive. Perhaps they want us to be less receptive to cosmic energy, or then we would really be questioning authority. We often see this chakra signified too, even on the dollar bill, the eye of God, but it makes you wonder, is it the eye of God or perhaps something else that we have come to worship so much in our culture. So another thing that could adversely be affecting our higher states of consciousness is all the electromagnetic energy that we're exposed to. Even if you are careful not to wear a cell phone on your body all day or sleep with it in the bed, the radiation is everywhere, from cell phone towers and from radio waves, microwaves. Even if you don't have them in your house, we are constantly being bombarded with things. And what is the effect? We know that our bodies are about 70% water, and we know that water is very susceptible. It's interesting to note that the third eye chakra, the pineal gland, much like the eye, has crystals in it and rods and cones, and is certainly light receptive and is affected by all these subtle energies. So we can take a step to drink pure water and avoid fluoride. We can minimize heavy metal contamination, such as getting mercury fillings and not smoking cigarettes, which expose us to cadmium, to avoid things like aluminum cookware. And why would we want to activate our pineal gland or our third eye chakra? Perhaps the biggest reason is so that we can connect to divinity and live a better life, a more spiritually connected life. So it's always good to have a positive intention as well. We don't want to only use this third eye activation to be more psychic. We want to use all those abilities that are given to us to make the world a better place. So spending time in nature in full spectrum light is a great place to start. Having a meditation practice, as I mentioned earlier, just sitting still and breathing deeply and gazing inward and upward at your third eye is a really simple way to start learning to meditate. We can drink pure water. We can do things like sound healing, listen to things like Tibetan bells, Tibetan bowls, tuning forks are all ways of tuning into the frequency of each chakra. We can Om, which is a practice that's done in many cultures. I try to Om every day at 4:20. I'm always saying, one breath for peace. If we all synchronized our frequency and our intentions for peace, that could be a start. And eating the right foods is really important. I think it's important to eat all the colors of the rainbow. Every color indicates a different phytonutrient. But in general, we want to eat things that are really good for our brain. So I think of things like cauliflower for the brain, walnuts, eating more green leafy vegetables helps the brain utilize oxygen better. Also, cacao is a wonderful food for activating our third eye. Now, there's a big difference between cacao, which is unprocessed chocolate, and then highly processed chocolate. So you can have the cacao, which actually, in its essence, has that purple coloration in it. And it doesn't have to have sugar and hydrogenated oils. But another way that we can activate the third eye chakra is by eating more indigo purple kind of foods. So I think of things like blackberries and elderberries and raisins and prunes. And if I were to buy potatoes, I'm going to buy purple potatoes. If I'm going to buy plums, I'm going to go for purple. So we want to eat all the colors of the rainbow, but if this is what you're focused on, try to include more indigo, purple, bluish foods. They're all very close together when we get up that high. And again, things that in general boost our brain power, and avoiding the things that I think diminish our receptivity. If we eat things we're allergic to, eating a lot of fried food, microwave food, eating animal foods from animals that have horrible lives, I think all of that really just clouds our perception. And certainly foods that are high in vitamin K are said to be good for our third eye chakra. So these are often foods in the cruciferous or Brassicaceae family, things like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, arugula. You know we should eat more of those. And greens, when we eat greens, it helps our body utilize oxygen better. And even though our brains only weigh about 2% of our total body weight, they require about 20% of the body's oxygen intake. And a couple other foods, we could think of garlic and oregano, which has beautiful indigo flowers. Neem is another one. And there's actually some research coming out that the plant in the Fabaceae family, tamarind, you might have had it before in Indian food, it's very sour. It actually is said to help decalcify the pineal gland. It's so sour, I think it could probably do a lot of great things for our body. We know it's high in vitamin C. Apple cider vinegar, great way to start your day rather than having coffee first thing. A tradition is to have a little apple cider vinegar in water or lemon in water, but apple cider vinegar, great for so many things, helps to alkalinize your body. Also a few herbs associated with the third eye, angelica. Look, this even looks a little like a brain to me. Ginseng, the trace mineral boron that we get from nuts, and again, cauliflower, tomatoes. And another great technique is simply to smell different things. When we smell things, aroma goes directly to our brain, and when we smell something, it's very immediate. It can change our neural pathways rather than, feeling like, oh, I'm so anxious or I'm so stressed. You smell something good and all of a sudden you're going down, in this case, frankincense lane or maybe lavender lane. Some of the essential oils in particular associated with the third eye are frankincense, lavender, pine, juniper, rosemary, and palo santo. So you might think about using those in massage, simply smelling them from the bottle, adding them to the bath. I like to keep some essential oils on top of my desk and smell them during the day when I'm writing. Certain yoga poses can also activate our third eye chakra. Child's pose, the downward dog or dolphin pose, this is being called here, head to knee pose, the eagle pose. Just do yoga. We know it's good for us, okay? If you can't do a headstand, then do a shoulder stand. And of course, spending some time to go deep within, yoga nidra. It's said that every time we skip shavasana, a unicorn dies. There's mudras we can use to activate our third eye. There you go. Little mudras. They're good practice. Looks kind of like a heart shape in there. Could even do it over your third eye center. And getting some time in full spectrum light is really important. How many of us go to work in the dark, come home in the dark, and are working under fluorescent lights all day long? That cannot be good for our consciousness. So a little bit of time in full spectrum light, perhaps without your sunglasses, assuming you can see well enough to cross the street or walk around the block. Certainly don't do anything dangerous. And this is best done early in the day or later in the day. We want to avoid falling asleep with all the electronics right near our head. That is not good for our dream state or for our health. So indigo is the color associated. We could wear indigo as I'm doing today. It's a beautiful color, kind of a cross between blue and violet. I'd say it's sort of like a blue-violet. We can use gemstones that are of that color, things like amethyst, lapis lazuli, sugilite are a couple of the stones I think of. Edgar Cayce, the late great prophet who lived in the early part of the 1900s, is said to have meditated with a lapis lazuli taped onto his forehead. You could try that too. And of course, this is the topic of exploring inner space, which certainly is not for everyone. But one of the neurotransmitters associated with the third eye is a chemical called dimethyltryptamine. And dimethyltryptamine is often referred to as the spirit molecule. Now, it is something that our bodies produce naturally when we're born, when we give birth, when we die. It can also be produced during states such as wonderful tantric lovemaking experiences, but also in times of necessity, like during starvation or fasting, or even in cases of extreme pain. It's like the universe has gifted us with a chemical that comes in to help us to remember to surrender into the unknown. Now, you may have heard of dimethyltryptamine as a psychedelic that people have used, and it is also something that's available from an external source, but it's also something that our bodies produce. We also know that very advanced yogic states also give us more dimethyltryptamine. It's where the word trip comes from. So when we're born, especially when we give birth naturally, and also when we die. And it's also believed that animals have access to this chemical as well, because in the natural world, life can be perilous, and you may, suffer, get lost, or be killed, or be eaten. And so I think it helps us to just surrender to the divine plan. But interestingly enough, this chemical, dimethyltryptamine, abounds in nature. It is found, for example, in the sensitive plant. You know that plant that you touch it and then it closes up? It's also blanketing the state of Illinois with Desmanthus illinoisensis. We know that it's in one of the factors in ayahuasca, Psychotria viridis. So it's interesting that it does abound on our planet. So it is really important to integrate access. Here's a artwork by Martina Hoffman depicting the third eye. So we can remember to Om. Doesn't have to be 420, it can be any time. And it's very possible that as we activate this, we may have more visions, more inspiration, more clarity of thought, more dream recall. We may, especially if we offer our intentions for the highest good, find that it helps to elevate us spiritually, that maybe we have more insight, awareness, notice more things, and perhaps fulfill our true destiny, which I hope is a great one for all of us. So, ajna, surrender, breathe, receive, and just remember to charge all your chakras as we explore this universe journey.
Ajna, ajna, third eye chakra, indigo, we want to know. Abracadabra, open and show the way, yeah. Open and show the way, yeah. Clear perception, this is a mission. We're listening close to our intuition. We want to see truth beyond the illusion. Third eye offers us a solution. Ajna, ajna, third eye chakra, indigo, we want to know. Abracadabra, open and show the way, yeah. Open and show the way, yeah. Meditation through concentration, entering the place of timeless elation. Here are the visions of the possibilities. Focus on the ones you want to make reality. Ajna, ajna, third eye chakra, indigo, we want to know. Abracadabra, open and show the way, yeah. Open and show the way, yeah. Open and show the way, open and show the way, yeah.
So that was a wonderful performance by Brigitte Mars and Bethy Lovelight. So happy to have you. Can you tell us where my viewers can find you?
So you can find me at bethylovelight.com, which is spelled like bethylovelight.com. BethyLovelight.
And BrigitteMars.com, BRIGITTE, Mars, like the planet.com. We both live in Boulder, but we travel and teach internationally. We hope we get to meet up with you, and remember to charge your chakras.
Charge your chakras. You can also find me on YouTube and SoundCloud and Reverb Nation and Bandcamp and around Boulder.
Anywhere. Anywhere, really.
Yeah, and in the stars.
Of course. I'll link everything below so you can directly find them, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Blessings.
much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yes. Peace and love.
Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you thought about today's teachings in the comments below. Please note that I have linked guest information and additional resources in the down bar. And now I'm going to share with you a special offer that is only active during Empower Week 2019. Empower Week is sponsored by my mindfulness e-course, Illuminate. Illuminate contains videos, meditations, and PDFs all centered around my 8 essential mindset principles. These are the same principles that I use and apply to my daily life in order to support my personal growth journey. Illuminate also contains bonuses, including a self-love workshop, access to an interactive and supportive online community, as well as this week only a free energetic mapping call with me. For everyone who enrolls in Illuminate this week, you'll be receiving a free energetic mapping call, and during this call we identify the patterns that may be holding you back from living freely and authentically. If you're ready to make 2019 your year of success and growth, enroll in Illuminate to access the energy and guidance to support your personal journey. Thank you so much for watching, and big love.